up. It's gonna come up. All right. It is 7:30 ish on a Sunday night, and we've been away for a little while. But once again, we are back live in the man cave. This is Polk. I am Coach Barnes. We got the All-State coach with us. What's going on with you, sir?
Happy Sunday, Coach.
Happy Sunday, and pretty soon we'll have the All-State PG in. He is wrapping up, and he'll tap in. But we're gonna go ahead and get going. The show must. What's going on, Mr. Franklin? Tapping in. Got a good show for y'all tonight, man. Got a lot of stuff that's happened since we have last been on. So, but before we get started, as I always want to go ahead and go to the coach's corner. I don't know if you got anything, sir. If you do,
Coach, I'm gonna hold off till PG get on.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we can speak of yesterday. Yesterday there was summer school is out, right? So congratulations to all of the educators who made it to the end of another school year, and now the shout out to y'all, man. I mean us, but y'all, you and yours, if you've been in the trenches, it's just every year it's a blessing just to say you made it to, you say you finished whatever your year. So congrats to y'all, and we got right to summer basketball, team ball. There was a team camp. If you were unaware, it's a team camp, 2-day camp. It was like a tournament type camp, which was pretty dope. At Southeastern, they played games all day on Friday, and they played them all day yesterday. You had 16 teams. 8 of them were from Polk, and the overall winner for it was Lake Howell. So you were like guaranteed 2 games each day. I like how they kind of set it up. And looking at the scores, Coach, we post the scores for both days. The first question says who was playing and who wasn't playing when you look at some of the scores. So just your initial kind of eyeball of those. I don't know if you got a chance to go over there and check in and action out. What's your takeaway? My first immediate takeaway when I looked at the scores was like McKeel was surprising. That was a surprise for me. I know they got a couple kids back. They got the white kid back Hillary, and then freshman Sam's. But I don't know if they got anything else. We hadn't heard anything. But what was your initial take on that, sir?
I don't want to get as excited too early about some of the scores because there are some question marks. Who did play? Who didn't play? But I've seen some competitive games, Coach. There was a lot of games that were very, very close, and that's a good thing. Going into summer league tomorrow. What I was disappointed about. Did you get a schedule?
Didn't even know about it, Coach, until I got Coach Hen sent me their scores, and he talking about something. He's sending scores like, Coach, what's this? He said, Coach, we at Southeastern camp. Like, and he was like, Coach, you ain't get this, and nobody ain't saying. I said, Coach, I ain't know nothing about it. So
yeah, I don't think I heard about it till Friday, and still didn't get any type of schedule. So, I think that was the most disappointing thing about the whole entire thing is that we couldn't help them promote it and maybe get people out to start watching.
Right.
Something that's in our backyard and not knowing about it.
I mean, because you figure you got Victory, Santa Fe, Arbondale all participating.
Yeah.
I mean, people gonna come and see because of who those 3 teams. I'm not saying about the other teams, but those 3 in particular gonna go just check that talent out. So yeah, that was kind of crazy. That knew nothing at all about it. So that was, like I said, that was disappointing. But we did still want to make sure we got the got the information out. But
I'm happy to see teams playing. I'm pretty sure everybody's, just trying to get their feet wet or trying to, get back, you know, in the work, and everybody been having open gym, skill development and everything. But just to put it together against somebody else. And like I said, some of the games looked like they were competitive from really, really close scores. Um, I've heard about a couple individuals that did play. One was, I think, the new kid from that transferred to Victory. Say he's going to be really, really good at PG. So I'm looking forward to this week and trying to get eyes on some of the kids this week.
well, you said it. You start, so let's just segue into it. Transfer portal has been active, to say the least, and I want to say, I really want to say the thing that stood out to me is how many out of county kids are transferring into the county. Because just a quick update, a kid that coach is talking about, Chris Fuller, he transferred to Victory from Tampa Prep. And he last year averaged 15 and a half, 16 a game for Tampa Prep. And he was their best player. And he's a 2027 kid, so he has 2 more years. So he transferred. He's coming from Tampa all the way to Victor. Victor already loaded, and that's a huge pickup. Mm-hmm. Lakeland picked up real talented guard, 2029 kid, Armani Morris, who was at Bell Creek last year. Played varsity as an 8th grader at Bell Creek, to give you an idea of his level, talent level. And Lakeland also has a kid from Tampa, Wharton. That's a 2026 kid that Western Van Zant. And Santa Fe picked up a kid. They picked up a kid, Bradley Webb from Horizon. And so all those transfers that we kind of put on the pages, none of them it was from Polk County. So what's your thoughts on kids coming from out of the county into the county as it relates to the portal?
I think it says a lot about those programs, Coach. It's something about those coaches and what they're doing that are attracting, kids to their school. So, shout out to those coaches and the things that they're doing to influence kids to come to their program. I think people sleep on Polk County like all the time when it comes to basketball. They think we're just a football county, but we have proved over and over again that we play good ball here. And my thing is, it gives you the best chance to compete. Santa Fe and Victory making the Final Four for the first time, and I expect them to be there again. So them picking up kids is not surprising, And Lakeland, I think compared to other years, last year was a down year for them. But I think the kids that they picked up, I see Lakeland being a playoff team this year.
1 year aberration, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Coach Brooks, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. It'll be available for purchase in the fall. So I definitely will put the information out once it comes out. The publicist got to do her job now. So appreciate you though, boss, very much. So all those kids, most of them played yesterday. I mean, over the weekend because their teams was playing. And so if you haven't seen them yet, and Coach Grady, I guess he was 2 guard. I know I watched them play. I watched Timber Prep play Discovery last year at Mosaic, and he handled the ball a whole lot. So maybe he is a 2 guard. He just played it in that game against Discovery. Against Discovery, he was a PG. And regardless, he's tough. He's real tough. That's a humongous addition. You look at them along with Thought Gall coming back, and you got 6'8", 6'11", and now you bring in this kid and they virtually brought back the whole team. It's a lot. It's a lot to like about Victory Christian when they getting off the bus right now.
Coach don't have a problem, Coach. You only can put 5 on the court at one time. So now
did the bigs play this weekend?
Have no clue.
I don't know if they played. I know they playing. I know at least one playing tomorrow. The big kid, the art kid, may not play tomorrow, but from what I get, Thought will play tomorrow. And that's going to be a good one. We'll talk about Summer League here in a minute. They kind of played yesterday, but I know neither team had all their guys. So I'm sure, Summer League game 1, they'll have them. But, Victory is in a very good situation. So, so that was so Grady said they was missing both bigs, Tucker and MJ. Well, shit. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a family show. My bad. So we'll just say Victor was not 100%, but we're assuming they will be tomorrow. So, we already I know we got some breaking news. We can't really confirm it, I guess. We can confirm it here and there, but I think it might be another coaching opening, Coach.
Really?
Yeah. One of probably the quickest and fastest. It ain't confirmed, but you know how we is, man. We try not to say stuff. If y'all know the amount of stuff that we get when we say we can confirm and now post, there's a real good chance that we've known it for a while, but we just try to be respectful of the people. Coaches will be like, "Hey, man, can you hold this?" or "Can you not say nothing or not post it?" So, out of respect in that lens, not gonna say it right now, but Coach, I'm sending it now. It'll be breaking news, but a lot of times, like I say, without breaking news, it's already kind of. Anyway, I just got that, so that threw me off. But Summer League starts tomorrow. So we have, once again, 21 teams that will be tipping off. All the games are at Florida Southern tomorrow, all of them. So the host sites this year, once again, are Florida Southern on Mondays, and Arbondale Rec, Arbondale High School, and Lake Region on Wednesdays. So they'll be playing Mondays and Wednesdays. And tomorrow is kind of like rivalry day. We'll post the schedule in the morning, but we're going to kind of talk about it right this second. So there are 4 courts at Florida Southern. For you all that are not aware, they divide them up into 3 courts. They play kind of sideways, and then they play a 4th one in the Wellness Center. So all these games will be at Florida Southern on their campus tomorrow. All right. So on court 1, and the game starts at 6:00. And once again, admission is free. But in order for the admission to remain free and these people to continue to work with us and allow the kids to come in and play, you play at a college facility, and you play at the rec, and so it takes us helping the people that are hosting. So we got to help them out by doing stuff like cleaning up behind yourself when the team's on the bench, making sure nobody doing no crazy stuff in the bathrooms. We're not acting crazy in the games, and getting out of character and all that. So that kind of stuff all goes a long way with the people continuing to allow us to have the summer league there, and 21 teams, that's a lot of kids that's getting a lot of good work. It's local. They ain't got to pay no money and get on the road and go to these camps and stuff. So last year, Coach McGriff, who is the commissioner, he kind of runs the summer league now. Said the Florida Southern coach was very happy with how things went last year. He wants to continue to support Polk County High School basketball, so he has no problem with working with the league as long as things don't get crazy. So y'all help Coach McGriff, y'all help Florida Southern for us to continue to be able to use it by just behaving like we I don't know how to do, right? So anyway, that's the PSA. So tomorrow, 6, 7, and 8 games, 6 o'clock. Marbury plays Tenor Rock. Lake Region plays Discovery. Sebring plays McKeel. There's no game at 6 o'clock at the Wellness Center. Once again, I'll post it tomorrow. We're just discussing it right now. 7 o'clock, Court 1, Lakeland versus Jenkins. Court 2, in the middle, Santa Fe versus Victory. Court 3, Kathleen versus Lake Gibson. And Court 4, Lakeland Christian versus Polk Christian. And the 8 o'clock games, Court 1, Davenport versus Ridge. Court 2, Winter Haven versus Arbondale. Court 3, Bartow versus Lake Wells. And at in the Wellness Center, 8 o'clock, Davenport versus Tampa Bay Tech. So the first thing that jumps out, Coach, we got a little bit of rivalry week, first game. So a couple that stand out to me, and you all may have different. Santa Fe Victory, because even they both have, all their kids. Even if they don't, because Fitz against Blicker, that's always a good coaching matchup. Winter Haven Arbondale, we know that's rivalry no matter where, what the scenario, what the situation. And then you got Bartow Lake Wells. You got Kathleen Lake Gibson. You got Lakeland Jenkins, and you got Davenport Ridge. So what's your thought on conceivably rivalry week right out of the gate tomorrow night?
I think
Bartow play Lake Wells.
I like Bartow. Who Lakeland play?
Jenkins.
Lakeland.
You want me to just go one by one? Okay, let's go. Lakeland Jenkins, you said you like Lakeland. Coach, who you like?
Lakeland.
All right, Davenport Ridge. Coach, I know you got a stain from that one, right?
Yeah, let me stay out of that
one. I'm going to say, I don't know what Skip got, though.
Yeah, I don't know, so I go with Davenport just because
I go with Davenport. I know Davenport got a couple guys. I don't know what Skip got, so. Lake Region Discovery.
You know who I'm not.
Discovery.
It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? I want to stay consistent for sure.
Discovery rolls out. They got 2 transfers right now. Amari Vega from Jenkins and Derek Downing from Haines City. Jordan Garner, who's been having a real good off season. I got to post something. He post a video. He went up on somebody. He tried somebody anyway. The kid that jumped with him. He sent to us this morning. And they got Big Kid. Zickner starting to get some offers. Got a couple offers. Congrats to him on 2 offers he picked up this week. So, guess we're going with Discovery. All right, Santa Fe Victory. If they both got their kids.
It depends who all play, Coach. If all of them have their kids.
Let's say they all play.
I would say on paper, Victory should have the advantage. But, Blicker going to always get the most out of his kids. It's going to be a competitive game. But just on paper, I would pick Victory.
If all of them play?
If all of them play, that's the thing. It's just if.
At this point, I would figure that you would think that what's up, Mr. Riley? What's up, Mr. Sears? Good evening, as they say in the First Baptist. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. You would say on paper right now that Victory would have to seem to be ahead of Santa Fe just because of what they brought back. And I mean, Santa Fe brought back some, but they lost more than Victory. So, and both of them got new additions with the Fuller kid going to Victory and the Webb kid going to Santa Fe. So, just right now, because if everybody play, Victory is a little more experienced. I'll go with Victory too. Winter Haven Arbondale.
Arbondale.
Yeah, Arbondale got a chance to be really, really good this year. With that, he got a. Is Arbondale seemed to always have this big three, these trio. So now they got a new. This is the newest uh edition of the trios with Derek Ramirez, Aiden Curry, and Jaden Lindsay. So they got a chance to be pretty good. And when Haven, they're real young, like real young. So yeah, I like Arbondale too. Sebring McKeel.
Sebring.
Before this weekend, I would say McKeel. I would say Sebring, but after this weekend, I'm saying McKeel on that one.
Why you saying McKill?
McKeel played pretty good by the scores. Let me make sure I don't do box score scouting. As a Coach Blicker got a new term. I don't do no box score scouting, but based off the box score scouting from Friday and Saturday, I would go with McKeel because McKeel score wise they were competitive. They didn't get like. I think they went 3-1, 4-4. They 3-1 because they didn't win it, so they went 3-1. So, and I don't know. I know Sebring got the freshman coming back, Hester, but I know they didn't have a lot last year. So for that, I would take McKeel. Kathleen Lake Gibson, the debut of Coach Kenny Davis at his new school. Congrats again to Coach Davis, new head coach at Kathleen High School. So you got Kathleen Lake Gibson. If everybody play, we got to give that precursor. We say you making these picks based off of all these teams having all of their available kids.
Who was Money?
Who was who?
Who was Money? What kid is that?
Money is the kid that goes to Lakeland.
Lakeland? Oh, okay.
Yeah, the freshman.
And like I said, that's if everybody play. If the football kids play, it's just so many question marks, especially with this one. Bro, I don't know. I don't even. I guess I'll pick Kathleen because I don't think everybody from Lake Gibson gonna play.
No, your pick is based on their playing. So you got the disclaimer. If they don't play, you can say, "Well, I picked them based off them playing."
I'm gonna still go with Kathleen.
I'm gonna go with Kathleen because I think they're gonna scrap play. Nothing against Lake Gibson. I think that in summer league, scrapping around, it goes that the teams that scrap around usually can balance it out a little more in summer league when it's not as structured as regular season. So Frank, I'm the only one that went to Kathleen. These two guys that go to Kathleen. So, but anyway, I would like Kathleen. He's only one man, Mike. He's one man, like Rocky said. Well, they gotta have a supporting cast. So, and then you got Bartow Lake Wells.
Bartow.
PG, he go. Do we know what Lake Wells has?
I know what he lost.
I know they lost a lot, right?
Yeah.
So, and McGriff, all he lost was the Swanson kid. So McGriff has a chance. He has a great chance. Bartow has a great chance to be pretty good if they can keep, because Coach, I know you follow it, but Jamil Wallace, he started with TGE, and that they ended up playing with Trey Mann a little bit, but Coach, you playing with the Florida Rebels now, and he is playing very well, very well. And so all those kids are a year older and they're playing. Like he playing, the Rattery kid playing, Link. They're out playing, and so that can only help. Playing and getting to work can only help. And these are bad, and that's the difference between Bartow. Bartow got some football kids more than they normally do, but they got, they always have enough basketball kids that's why, to me, that's why Bartow always seems like, and of course, McGriff, what he does, that obviously it adds to it, but he has more kids that he's able to get that stuff in with. So he doesn't have to always transition as many football players to, get them back in basketball like shape and then the rotation as other schools. This year, I know he got a Battle. I know that Borders plays football, which I didn't know that at first. I know Jacoby plays football, but Wallace don't play football unless he gonna go out there and play. Rattery don't.
He need to.
Lake don't. He everything about him says football coach, but that these kids nowadays, that stuff don't mean nothing. So if he unless he changes his mind, but Griff will have a good nucleus of kids that are not playing football. So a lot more than some of these other schools who will have to heavily rely on the two-sport kid. So I'm assuming everybody will be there for McGriff tomorrow, so I like Bartow too. Then Lakeland Christian, I don't know about this one because I don't know. It's the new team, new kid on the block, Polk Christian. I have no idea about them. So
Lakeland Christian play in Summer League in the past?
This is new, coach. Lakeland Christian and Tenor Rock. Shout out to Tenor Rock.
Tenor Rock played last year for the first time, and that was good. That was good. Okay, so Lakeland Christian and Polk Christian. I'm curious to see this new team and what they have.
Yeah, that'd be good. So I'm going with I don't know. I saw Polk Christian play yesterday, and Lakeland Christian did. And if you look at, if I'm being a box score scouter, I would go with Polk Christian based off of what they did. From what point guard for Sebring? Hester? PC Grid, I appreciate that, boss. Once I get out, I'll get you the information, man. Thank you for your support, man. I saw you coming earlier. I got on a tangent. My bad. Appreciate it. Thank you. They got Hester, Mr. Riley. I ain't heard that one. That's breaking news. Hester pretty good, man. We'll see tomorrow, I guess. We'll see tomorrow when they walk in Florida Southern because you gotta. You can play with them and still go somewhere else, but conceivably you playing with who you gonna be playing with, right? That would be the thought. So, what's your thoughts? That's Monday. Then Wednesday the games move to the rec. Court 1, 6 o'clock, Osceola, Sebring. That's both. Then 7 o'clock, Court 1, Santa Fe, One Haven. And then 8 o'clock, you got Discovery and McKill. And once again, we'll post these on both days. Court 2, Bartow, Lakeland Christian. Then you got Victory, Tampa Bay Tech. And then you got Lakeland Kathleen, another rivalry game. And then at the high school, Arbondale will play Jenkins. Mulberry will play Lake Gibson. And Tenor Rock will play Ridge. And then over at Lake Region High School, you got Lake Region Davenport and Lake Wells Polk Christian. So that's the first week of games, Monday and Wednesday. So, Coach, right off the top, who you like? I guess it's not you can't really like anybody because it's like the NBA. You don't know who's gonna be playing, who's doing load management, whatever happening from night to night, right?
Yeah, Coach, it's way too early. Believe me, I'm just being a gym observing at this point. I don't put too much stock, especially in the first week of Summer League. You know what I'm saying? So I'm more so observing this and just seeing what people have and what they're doing this summer.
Mr. Riley, if they got 10th grade would be Hester. He was 9th grade last year. I gotta do some research on that one. You got me on that one, Mr. Riley. Because I love Hester. I love how he plays, how he commands stuff. So Pratt, Oh, I'm not sure about Avon Park, Mr. Prager. I don't know why they. That's a good question. Them, Jordan Christian Prep, some of them people that you would like to see jump in, they don't always jump in. So, this past Friday, we had a lot of kind of conversation about our top 5. We posted top 5 programs in Polk County. We had some people that had some strong opinions. But so just figured we'll recap it. We said number 1 was Bartow, number 2 Winter Haven. We said 3 was Santa Fe, 4 was Victory, and 5 was Arbondale. Coach, why do you think there was such a issue or a conversation or debate, whatever word you want to use, as it relates to?
I mean, Coach, it wasn't an issue. I love the conversation actually, and it was great content behind their rationale, and it was clickbait, Coach, and people clicked on it and was able to comment. It's great. It's great for the page. It's great for conversation. Like we even had conversation within ourselves when we was doing this, and just to let everybody know, we didn't particularly have a time frame from when to when, like what years or whatever. We didn't have a time frame on it, because if we put a time frame on it, that probably kind of changes things. So, just to answer that question, but I think, especially last 5 years or so, or even going up to 10, I don't think we can argue, that list in itself. I know people had something to say about Winter Haven, but you can't really. You know what I'm saying? They made 3 Final Fours in the last 4 years, 3 Final Fours and a state championship game. Like, how can you argue that? You can't argue that success that they've had. It's great that Santa Fe and Victory got in there this year. The same expectations is moving in. This coming up year, Bartow speaks for itself. McGriff has done a great job for over 20 years. And the titles to go behind it. You know what I'm saying? And Coach E over at Arbondale has been consistent. Year in, year out.
Well, we only put the boys up. I know you LBD, Mr. Frankie, but we didn't. Our list was strictly on the boys side. We let Polk County girls basketball kind of handle the girls side of it, and we try to respect them with that side of the fence. They do a great job, an amazing job.
Yeah, they do.
And that was a topic. I know. I think you brought it, Frankie. You kind of changed the order of it based off the fact of titles. So, do you have to win a title or titles to be considered a program? Because I guess one of the conversations was, since Winter Haven hadn't won, you can't consider them or put them ahead of people because they got there but they didn't win it.
But Coach, who on that list other than Bartow has a title?
So that by that rationale,
that's what I'm saying.
You can't put anybody ahead of them. They did it more times.
If we're doing it based on titles, it would be Bartow 1. Then it'd probably be Lake Wells Kathleen at 2, based on titles. Then who else has won titles after that? Haines City got 1. I can't name nobody else based on titles, unless it's from the 50s or something.
So that you can't really say that. I mean, and it's like somebody like, what's the criteria? What do you put into it, or how do you determine what's the sauce to have a team be considered a top program? And so that could be, we could have our criteria, and Frankie, you could have your criteria, and Mike could have his, and Mr. Riley could have his. It could go. I mean, I don't know if we would go back to the 50s, Coach Hawthorne, if that's what you're saying, because that's too hard to get information on. But some people, you got them historians like Jim Austin and Marlon, his brother, them guys, if you want to know anything about Polk County history as far as basketball, them the guys you want to see. Them they are like encyclopedias. So I'm sure they would know, right? They probably could tell you in 2 minutes who wasn't as far back as the 50s. That's just not that's our right now. That's not our span.
If you go back, even starting at the 80s or maybe even the 90s, you know what I'm saying? The two Christian schools will come out. And like I say, you have to consider Lake Wells, Kathleen, and even Haines City as far as programs go. You know what I'm saying? Like they have to be considered because, you know what I'm saying? They was competitive. They was highly competitive, especially in the 90s into the 2000s. You know what I'm saying? As of late, Kathleen and Lake Wells has fell off. You know what I'm saying? So it just according to when you're talking about. But I think right now that list was highlighted the teams that were spot on.
Okay. All right. So
and Discovery would be trending.
Yeah, that somebody said on there we were sleeping on Discovery, and
I don't think Discovery has had as much playoff success as those other teams.
No, we can't. I will say, PC Gridiron, you and the former Lakeland assistant coach, that was I enjoyed that y'all's. Yeah, I enjoyed both of y'all point counterpoint. It was very good reading for me in a way. Coach Albo, appreciate you tapping in on the conversation. We always like to get good veteran, credentialed, reputable assistance with the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much have what we have. So
we saying the past 5 years past, Bartow, Winter Haven, Santa Fe. So had we had it, but if you're saying within the 5 years, then it switches, and Winter Haven drops out of it. So let's explore that one. So Winter Haven did not have a good year this year, right? Has it been? But the year before that, they was how they not had a good year. No, last year before that, they was good because they had Isaac in them, right? Still, right?
Yeah. Man, because last year was the only bad year.
So they only been not as good this past year.
Yes.
So 1 year, yeah, Coach Elbow tough. So 1 year you no sir. Let me tell you, bro, we can't. So 1 year drops you out of it.
I say no, but everybody has their opinion.
That's interesting. So
but if Winter Haven has another year or two like that, they will drop out for sure. Like I say, Discovery is trending up. They've been consistently, knocking at the door. But they're gonna have another tough year when it comes to the playoffs because the Villagers are gonna be tough again.
The Villagers are still villaging, huh?
Mm-hmm.
But so that was it was a good conversation. So we Friday we just put something out for for good conversation and content and for us to learn and grow from each other. So appreciate you all tapping in. So this Friday and Saturday, there is Santa Fe is hosting a high school team camp, and we did get their information, so we will post it again this week. But a lot of good action will be there all day on Friday and Saturday. Local teams participating will be Bartow, Santa Fe, of course, and Victory. So, and Jenkins also is playing. And Jenkins, who will be coached by, that's what you were saying, Coach?
Yeah, he says so.
Jenkins, whose head coach, Chris Osmond, is still in, he's still coaching. He has some additional coaching he's doing, but he wanted to make sure that we communicated that he is still the head coach.
No.
No, that he's not.
He's not.
Okay. So he is not. So breaking news, we can report it on the air as we kind of got tips in here and there. So Jenkins coach Osmond has stepped down. And so Jenkins is going to be in search of a coach.
No, they have it already. I just text you.
Oh, they have he stepped down. Somebody's already stepped in. So Coach Osmond has moved on. Coach, you can tell it.
All right. So the information I just received, Coach O'Callahan, the former coach from McKill, will be the next head coach at Jenkins.
So they switch out McKill coaches.
Yes.
Switch out one McKill Coach Osmond, brought in another one, Coach O'Callahan. All right, so I think we got it now.
Yeah,
but I was seeing OC and OG and
yeah. Understand.
Start getting a little confusing.
So congratulations, Coach OC, and good luck to you over that way.
So he'll have Jenkins at Santa Fe Saturday morning. They play Saturday morning. They only play one game, and then you got Bartow. Bartow will play at 2 on Saturday. On Friday, they will play at 2:50 against Sarasota. There are other teams there. So you got Jenkins, Sefner Christian, Sarasota's Bell Creek, Orlando Edgewater, Sarasota Booker, Tampa Catholic. So there's some good teams that'll be in action. So Friday night, Bartow plays twice. They play at 2:50 and 5:10. Once again, we'll post this. Santa Fe, of course, plays twice. No, I only see them one time on Friday. So they play a book on Friday. And then on Saturday, Victory will play. So the last 3 games over there, they're there all day Friday, Saturday. Bartow plays Edgewater, which will be a good competition for Bartow. But those last 3 games, you got Bartow, Northside Christian, Victory, Tampa Catholic, and then Santa Fe plays Windermere. So Santa Fe get some good work. So in the span of 2 weeks, Coach, you got teams like Santa Fe and Victory will have played. I mean, at some point it's chestnut chuckles, right? Because Santa Fe played 4 games this weekend. They're gonna play 2 games this week, and then they're gonna play 3 or 4 games next Saturday.
Coach, you almost have to. You know what I'm saying? Like Santa Fe lost a big piece on their chessboard, but they were able to get some pieces in. You know, Coach Blicker need opportunities to evaluate what he has. You know what I'm saying, and try some things and see what works and what don't work, so he can prepare for the season. I think it's like team bonding time. Figure out roles on the team. You know what I'm saying, and go from there. And I think the same thing with Victory. You got new pieces. And my thing is the expectations right now is very, very high for you to get to the, state title game again. You know what I'm saying? So iron sharpen iron. So you shouldn't be, want to play just anybody. You want to play, the best teams that are out there in order to prepare yourself. You know what I'm saying? You got to go through the gauntlet, Coach, and not be afraid of it. And we've seen in the past, especially Blicker, he's not afraid to schedule anyone, whether it's in the summer or during the season. So, shout out to him. Shout out to Victory also. Just go out and just play and see where you at and see what you need to work on.
So, Coach, that leads into a topic that's always hotly debated as far as your philosophy on how to handle the summer. And so the question is, training versus playing over the summer. Training over playing over the summer. Which is more important? Which is more effective? Because more and more people are coming out, coach, saying that you don't need to be playing, you need to be training, doing development, and staying off the court. That's the time where you really get better in those regards.
I agree with that with younger ages. You know what I'm saying? If you're an elementary kid or a middle school kid, I do agree with that. When you get in high school, training is still very, very important. But you got to be able to apply that stuff in game situations, coach. And I'm sorry, looking at some of these training videos, it looked good on them. But what's gonna happen when somebody get in front of you? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
So I'm
What we
looking for,
talking about? And
but
you
coach,
paying for that, coach. And that's some of that training you paying for.
you paying for it. So why do you think so many like people are coming out against
Because you're
playing?
getting young kids, you're getting elementary school kids, you're getting middle school kids that are getting the high school coaches and don't have fundamentals. They can't dribble. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how to make a post entry pass. They have no clue what help side defense is in man to man. You know what I'm saying? They don't even know the areas on the court, coach. You know what I'm saying? So a lot
So
of a lot of those coaches so focused on winning. You know, the only thing they do is just go in there, they just work on just out athleting another team, maybe just pressing the whole entire time. But yet, you don't teach the kids how to dribble. You don't teach them how to pass. You know what I'm saying? You don't teach them the fundamentals. So when they get to high school, they struggle, coach. So training is extremely important. You know what I'm saying? But how many of them in there are working on shooting? Coach, shooting, you got to be able to shoot in today's game. You have to. You know what I'm saying? But how many of them are working on that? My thing is you got to be prepared when you get to high school. High school, you still got to do both. You know what I'm saying? That's why we train during the week and we usually like play on the weekend. You know what I'm saying? But training is extremely important. But you got to be able to apply that in game situation. If you're not playing any games, you can't apply it.
well, you saw when we was talking about off the air about the how what Richard Jefferson said as far as he took kids are kids are the ones at risk with AAU and stuff like that. They're at risk for burnout and injury. So he was the most recent one to speak out against playing games. And these are like NBA guys that had very good careers, so if those type of guys are speaking out against it, and the most famous person who stopped playing and was training is the greatest shooter. And these kids love everybody want to be him. So it's getting traction. That mindset and that way of thinking is getting traction because now and I do you think it has at least from the NBA, not blaming on the NBA, but the NBA with the whole load management thing and all that kind of stuff? That this
Maybe,
trickle down to high school now?
maybe. You know what I'm saying? It may have some impact on it, but my thing is, coach, I think the parents has the most to blame for that. And these not only the parents, but some of these leagues are to blame too, especially when you start talking about little league football. Because little league football start before NFL football now. You know what I'm saying? And it goes all the way up to like December. So kids in little league football play from like July to December. It's no way a kid should be playing football that much. You know what I'm saying? And then you look at basketball, coach, it's a tournament every weekend. Every weekend there's a tournament. I'm talking about in the fall, coach. In the fall, it's a tournament every weekend. During basketball season, it's a tournament every weekend when you start talking about elementary, middle school kids. It's a tournament every weekend. You know what I'm saying? But when do you have time to work on your game? Are you working on your game? You know what I'm saying? So I understand at those younger ages about training. They should be training. They should be getting the fundamentals down. You know what I'm saying? And also, we said it before, like proper rest. Are you getting a proper treatment on your body though? Are you eating the right things? Do you have, getting ice baths or, all of that stuff? All of that stuff applies. My thing is you're burning these kids out before they get to high school, and then you wonder why they're not prospering.
Coach, I saw this. I'm gonna read it to you. I saw this, and to tag into this conversation, this topic. This guy wrote this letter to parents, and I'm gonna read it. He says, "Dear parents, I'm going to be brutally honest. If your child isn't on a sneaker AAU circuit, it might be time to stop chasing tournaments and start chasing development. Let's break it down. You're spending $500 to $1,000 a weekend on travel, food, gas, and tournament fees just to watch your 12, 13, or 14-year-old play 4 games, maybe get 20 shots total. Meanwhile, that same money could have been used for high-intensity training, one-on-one, full court, game speed shooting, reps on the run, real skill development. You want to see real growth this summer, less games, more training, better results."
I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? How many of them are in the weight room? You know what I'm saying? If you really want to prevent injuries, you got to get bigger, faster, stronger. How many are working on flexibility, coach? You know how many injuries you can prevent just from flexibility alone? You know what I'm saying? But you don't see that. You don't hear that. You don't hear people talking about that. You know what I'm saying? We got to talk about the whole child, and then on top of all of this, coach, you still got to get your grades. Like, what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just had a conversation with kids at my school. You know, they're on the edge of being eligible to play high school ball, right? So you get them into summer school, but in summer school they're taking ingenuity classes. I had to tell them, like, those classes do not count towards NCAA. The coach, they didn't even know that you can't replace grades from ingenuity. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a 2-3 higher in the core, and it's not necessarily saying that institution even accept that 2-3. You know, some require more than that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm curious about the conversation that we're actually out there having with these kids. You know what I'm saying? Is it the guidance department job for them to know NCAA requirements? Is it a coach job? Is it a parent's job? You know what I'm saying? For them kids to be juniors about to get into their senior year and not know this information, we failing these kids, coach.
So who's failing the kid? Because I saw a post to that thing. It was like, don't, what the thing say? The thing say, don't create, no, coaches don't create D1 athletes, parents do. So is that along the lines of what you're saying?
Yes, sir. Parents, you need
Can
to
y'all hear
know.
me?
Yeah, we got you now, PG.
Yeah, PG. Yes, sir. Yeah, had to switch them Boost Mobile for a minute, huh? I guess you lost your other stuff with the tariffs.
Bad
So
area, man. I don't know.
I don't know if you've been hearing what we've been talking about. We talking playing games versus development, because now it's been more and more of a push toward from like professionals, like that the video that we just was talking about, the most recent person, Richard Jefferson, about training as opposed to playing games. So that's kind of the topic that we on we're on right now. So that come up this time every year. Should you be playing games?
I was listening in.
Okay, you was listening. All right.
I was listening in. It's so much bad basketball that I wouldn't be against just training, because I mean, outside of playing on those shoe teams, the basketball is terrible.
So the basketball is terrible.
So how do you get better?
You gotta you got to train there, right? And that's you got to develop the skills if you're missing them, right? If you're just getting out the car and trying to go hoop, and you don't have any skill or haven't done any training, that's gonna be Rick Lee back of Central Park type Buster Park ball, right?
But coach, are they even doing that? I don't see a lot of that no more. You know what I'm saying? Like in Lake Wells back in the day, we had Roosevelt, and now it's Kirkland. I just don't hear and see about just kids just want to go in there and hoop, let alone work on their game doing some type of training.
So is it a
with the way it's been played now? Do they have time? Do they have time to work on their game when they're playing every weekend on the off season?
That's my thing. I think I got so watered down with all these games, like these tournaments and all this stuff going on. There, it didn't used to be. You didn't used to have stuff every weekend, like every weekend. There is no off, and these kids, and I guess I don't know if I'm playing with Team A and we off this weekend, then I'm gonna go play with Team B if they going just to. I don't know. It's kind of how do you find that balance, especially if it's a kid that is playing football. Now, if it's just a basketball only kid, then maybe. But that's a quandary because, like you say, PG, the product on the floor is not looking good. So how do you improve the product if all you're doing is playing games?
You got 10 tournaments, right? 10 straight tournaments, and 6 of the tournaments you play against the same 8 teams. How are you improving?
You can't be. And then what's the level of competition that you're playing against too? You know what I'm saying? You're doing all this training, but yet you're going to play Esteem Academy. Yeah, you're going to look good. But then when you get against somebody that's going to actually defend and you find out that stuff is not working, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm questioning, the level of training that you're actually getting. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so many questions. There's no right or wrong answer. You just got to find some type of balance. My thing is, do they have time? Yeah, they have time. They have time to get on the game and on their computer. They have time for all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have time, you make time. Maybe you get up in the morning before your day starts and you go out there and you run and lift weights. Then you find some time to do your skill development throughout the day. Then my next question is, what is your high school doing? I know at Winter Haven at LBD, I know you're going to be in the gym training, working on dribbling, passing, shooting, and, some other things. And then during travel ball season, you're able to go, train with, go play with your team on the weekend. But Monday through Thursday, you in open gym working on these type of skills. And not come and find out what happened, then you're going to see your playing time diminish. So my thing is, if you don't have time, you better make time. If not, do not get on social media complaining about the coach don't like me or I'm not playing, so I'm going to jump from this team to that team when you didn't put in the work and preparation to do so.
But with the transfer portal, do you even have to train? Because if you don't like what's happening, you just
coach, you don't.
Change your address, right?
You can go to some of these other schools and they'll accept you with open arms. And you'll be able to play. You'll be able to play a lot. You know what I'm saying? You might be able to put in a few buckets where we even talking about you on here. But that's not going to earn you some money to play ball at the next level. You know what I'm saying? If you're scoring 30 against, such and such academy, such and such Christian, or, those teams are not good. It's not good competition. So why I'm going to extend a scholarship over to you when you haven't played nobody? Those numbers are inflated. Like, what are we talking about?
So then by the other dude's thing that I read, it made more sense. Instead of you paying $1,000 a weekend and you're not on a shoot circuit team where they're not going to see you anyway, Put that money in the training. And then you can get that high quality training that them kids, them people are paying that money. Like them performance, them high level. We always talk about resources and what they got down south that we don't have. A lot of them guys getting free training, like the Boozer twins ain't paying, right? But some of them kids paying for that stuff, and they coming out the pocket. So if you ain't spending that, and you all know, man, you go to Disney, you out $50 before you sit down, right? Like, so, and that's just getting from your car in the gym. You ain't went to the concession stand, you ain't went to check in the hotel, so that money could definitely be used differently by his logic, you only getting 20 shots for the whole weekend and you don't spend $1,000. So you can get some high level training, right? If you trade in one tournament for some high level training, you could balance. I know we keep talking about everybody saying balance. Coach London made a good point. They gotta love it, right? The guys that you gotta love it, and all of them they don't love it. They like it. They love to say they talk about it. They love to post. But do they love it when they're not on social media, when they ain't at a tournament, when there's nothing but the work that's going to, help you to get to where you saying you want to go?
When they actually love it, Coach, you don't have to bother them about doing it. You know what I'm saying? They coming in, they bothering you like, hey, I got to be at workouts at such and such time. Hey, I got training at such and such time. Or, you get up in the morning, you run on your own. You know what I'm saying? You train on your own.
Yeah. So that was sent to us on the inbox, and so shout out to Coach for always supporting us and giving us good content to talk about. But that's something to consider, because at the end of the day, how do those other teams? Because that's the thing, Coach. The teams that are really good, like the Villages, like the people down south, they're training, right?
Mm-hmm.
And their skill set, even Orange County, we've always said Orange County as a whole is more skilled than we are. So if other people are figuring it out and that's your competition, that's your ops, as the Jitterbugs call it, then you either got to do what they're doing or do it better if you want to be better. Other than that, we're going to continue to, kind of struggle. We're going to kind of struggle when we come head to head with them. I had a conversation with a coach yesterday and was telling them how South Florida dominates sports to the point where they had a conversation at one point about South Florida, Broward, Palm Beach, and I could not remember Broward yesterday. I kept saying Fort Lauderdale. I said, what's the county Fort Lauderdale? And I had a brain. So Broward, Palm Beach, and Dade breaking away, because it's not even competition at this point, right? Because they win it every year. And so what do they do that they got skill, but they're also developing the skill. And so we got talent, but I don't know if we're necessarily developing the skill at the same level. So we got some kids, especially in that 28 class, and then, a few in that 27 class that's now transferring in that have some talent, and they got time in school, but they're not graduating that year. So, but do they have the skill to take themselves individually and then their teams to the level where we can start to actually beat some of these people? Like, it was great to get there last year for Santa Fe and Victory, but in order to take the next step, they got to get more guys to be able to be on that skilled level as those guys they played, right? That's the next step. So, all right, great topic. So in the case, like Richard Jefferson thing was, well, I'll do this first for both of y'all, chalk talk guys, and it's a defensive topic. So Gary Payton, who's everybody considers really good defensive, he said that he feels like the constant switching on defense is a big problem nowadays. And then the NBA does it way too much, and it trickles down to everybody else. Everybody's teaching it and it's totally from a defensive perspective. I see you, Coach, shaking in your chair. I'm just reading what the man said. That it is a big problem in how defense is being taught, and with the way as good as offenses have gotten, is like it's bad for the basketball game from a defensive perspective because of how good people have gotten. So, do you feel like that? And he says it starts at the top, because all everything starts at the league, and it's trickled down all the way to high school. He's like, you see high school kids doing it, college kids doing it, pros doing it, and it ain't working. It's killing the overall.
I agree and disagree. I think the constant switching and always switching have made kids and teams lazy, and you can see that in the NBA. You can see them like pointing already as soon as somebody moves. They don't want to move. You know what I'm saying? So it's just easier to talk and just yell switch, switch, switch. You know what I'm saying? But I also know the benefits of certain strategies. You know what I'm saying? Like me, myself, I'm an X and O guy. I'm a chess guy. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna see different looks from us. You know what I'm saying? Like we'll have rules in place. Like for this game, we're gonna blitz the ball screen. So we're gonna trot the ball screen like every time. Or we will switch off ball screens and blitz the ball screen. Or it's games where we're switching everything. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we're teaching our kids to play on ball defense. You know what I'm saying? No hands, no body. Learn to sprint and cut people off. You know what I'm saying? My thing is, are you teaching them how to play defense? And that's my pet peeve right now. They're not teaching them how to play defense, coach. Are you teaching them to defend the post? You know what I'm saying? Do they know how to front the post or side front the post? Do you know how to X out when the ball changes position from the corner back to, the wing free throw line extended? You know what I'm saying? Are you teaching those things? And overall, I don't see it being taught because the kids are not doing it. And that's what I have the issue with, you know what I'm saying, defensively. The kids are not being taught those fundamentals. I go see practices, I go see people warm up, and they're sitting up there having the kids do defensive slides, right? But that's not ideal or realistic. When somebody's dribbling at me full speed, you're gonna have to turn your hips. Sometimes turn and run to get in front. You're not gonna be able to slide the whole time and stay in front of nobody. You know what I'm saying? Are you teaching them to play defense without their hands, but yet you want to complain about the foul count? You know what I'm saying? Oh, the foul count 6-1. Yeah, but your kid's hands is all over the ball handler. Teach them to play defense without fouling. You know what I'm saying? I blame the coaches. They allow them to do that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And therefore, when you give them that freedom, then it has just gotten worse. It just got way worse. So now the kids are lazy. They don't want to switch because you're not forcing them to. You know what I'm saying? We'll get into games like, hey, we're not switching anything. You know what I'm saying? Fight through the screen, fight above the screen, or we're going under the screen. How your rules in place? You know what I'm saying? But you got to teach those things in practice.
So he is right, but the reason he's right is because they're not teaching it, not because it's bad if it's taught. Okay. PG, you got anything on that? I don't know if you can hear.
No comment.
Okay. All right. Well, Coach, I don't know if you want to do your corner or not. I know you say you want to wait till PG get on here. If you want to let it slide the next time, it's on you.
No, especially PG. Should practice be harder than the game?
What happened?
Should the competitiveness and the culture of practice, should it be harder than the games?
That's how you get better, though. I say yeah. Oh, everybody, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
We hear you.
Yeah, I say yeah. That's how you get better when everybody's competing at that high level. That makes games a lot more easier, and it also helps you to trust everybody because you know how hard and competitive they're gonna go. I mean, what better way to have it if you're competing against each other left and right in practice. That way, when you're depending on certain players in situations where you got player A who's a starter in foul trouble, you feel like you don't have nothing left off because of how hard you see them go at it in practice. It's called a trust thing.
Do you think that's trickled down from up top also? Because they don't always practice hard. But then, I mean, obviously they playing a whole lot more games and all that stuff. But I mean,
some of them don't even practice, Coach.
Yeah, when they get late on in the season now, I mean, you know, when you're getting towards playoff time, you got to do about that. I mean, yeah, it needs to be competitive, man. That's how you identify your team, bro, and identify your players and their roles. Am I wrong? Am I missing something?
No, I agree with you wholeheartedly. You know what I'm saying? We purposely put them in situations where they're behind or a tough situation where it's built for them to fail just to see how they react. Are we gonna sit and cry about it? Are we gonna play through it? We'll stack the team sometime against some of our best players. You know, putting them in game situations. Do you practice game situations? Do you practice, trying to get a shut off less than 5 seconds, or being down 1 or 2 with 30 seconds to go, or being down 5 with a minute and a half? We practice those situations, so it's not new to us when we get into those situations. But my thing is, you have to make practice competitive. You have to and I think the coach builds that culture, and it trickles down to your leaders on your team and how they compete. You know what I'm saying? Do you allow them to be lazy, on defense, or allow them to get away with stuff? Because if not, the whole entire team sees that. You know what I'm saying? And I had to have that conversation this year with our best player. Like, hey, look, you know what I'm saying? That this is not going to be tolerated because people are watching you. We let you get away with it, then they going to think they can get away with it. And you're going to need them in order for us to win the championship this year. I think it has to be set and enforced by the coach. But at the same time, the other players got to hold each other accountable too. They can't allow each other just to come in there and go through the motions. They got to lock in and give maximum effort every time they walk on the court.
So all this is set by the coach. So all this right now is coach getting it, and this is the time to do it.
Definitely.
Okay. All right. Well, last thing we got, man, we've made it to the NBA playoffs, the finals. So thoughts on the playoffs to this point and who you like, Indiana or OKC?
OKC in 5.
5?
Yeah, they'll win. Indiana win 1 game.
I'm with PG. It may go 6. I think OKC has a better team, but I do think Halliburton is really carrying Indiana Pacers right now. I love the way that they are playing. It's not the sexiest NBA Finals. You know what I'm saying? I don't expect the ratings to be like through the roof or anything. But I do like OKC, even though SGA is the MVP. He's playing at a high level, but coach, they actually got a really good team, and they're young.
Young and loaded.
Yeah, and they're young. So
you want to hear something crazy, BD?
Yeah.
Hollenberg, that's his name.
Yeah.
How many? Remember in the last summer he didn't play at all during the USA game.
Yeah.
And now he got his team in the finals.
Hey,
how crazy is that? Who would ever call that after the summer?
But Coach, Siakam has been a problem for everybody.
And he's consistent.
And he's consistent. Indiana they run offense so well, and OKC guard, so that's going to be a good, chess matches. Who offense defense, So if you one of those strategy type basketball people, you should love the finals to see who can do what. But what you say?
OKC in 5.
Pacers, Chasers, or Lasers. Don't matter. OKC and 5. I don't know about 5. I think they're more evenly matched than on paper. I don't know if it'll go 5. I don't even know if it'll go what it'll go, but I don't know. I think they're very evenly matched, and if you can get past, like you say, it's not the traditional NBA team. I think it's going to be a very good finals. I think it's going to be very, very well.
Like you talk about Siakam, but I love Jalen for OKC. I love Chet. They got some really good pieces that I think people don't talk about enough. But I love the way Indiana is playing. Like Siakam was definitely the MVP of the Eastern Conference Finals, but Halliburton he had some big shots to win games. You know what I'm saying?
Do you all subscribe to what Miles Turner said in the post game? He said that
I think people sleep on him too.
Miles Turner, yeah. But did you hear him say that he thinks the day of the super team is kind of past, and now it's about building family? And you look at Indiana and OKC, they both like built their teams right from draft or whatever, so they're not super teams. So do you think the super team era is over?
I don't think it's over, but you're not going to see them consistently in running championships off. You know what I'm saying? It'll be like a one and done thing. I think you're going to be more consistently see teams that was built like OKC, like Indiana, being the championship. And Golden State started that way. You know what I'm saying? Coach, they started with building through the draft. You know what I'm saying? All them kids weren't superstars when they first got there. They built through the draft to win those first couple championships. You know what I'm saying? Then when they added KD, they just made it even more tougher to beat them. But Golden State had the same formula.
Hey, I got one for y'all.
What's up?
Is it the end of the old area? Has the new area made it in?
Yes. I think so.
Yes. That new generation has taken over. And my thing is the old era needs to let it go and acknowledge that it's not theirs anymore.
That old area doesn't have the same, like the old era before them with the Magic, Jordan, Bird. You don't get the same type of energy from this old era. So it's, what I'm saying? It's not like you said, they're not dominant. Look at look at Mike. I do think that the old era is gone. Shout out to Tony Bradley, Miss Shaw, Bartow High School alum who will be going to, we just posted right before we got on, going to the NBA Finals with the Indiana Pacers. So that's a reason to cheer for the Pacers if you don't have a dog in the race.
OKC and 5.
But I do think the old regime is done. I do think it's a lot of young teams, a lot of young talent. The top teams, you look at Denver, look how old Denver went from one year to the next. Denver look real old this year. They just Didn't they just win the championship? And now they struggled. It was a struggle. It was a struggle bus. So I do think the old guys are a thing of the past. So PC Gridiron. It's been a lot of movement in that situation. You know how we are.
You got to give a shout out to these GMs, man, because like finding the players they get in it. All the teams with the old players have stacked up so much money they can't even get players. Like Jaden Williams, I didn't even realize he went to like Santa Clara, bro.
Yeah.
And he was number 12 in the draft.
So the research departments have really been doing their job. And sometimes you watch the NBA draft and after like them first 4 or 5, you be like, who? What? Where? Like I know more of us, I can speak for me. I don't know to look at the mock drafts like that, but I've been watching them. Obviously, just kind of see where they got Walt at. But they got some names on them, and I watched a little more college basketball this year than I normally do. And some of them guys, that like the PG from Texas, they got him like top 5. And I obviously I didn't watch Texas play, but like where he comes from. So you get them kind of guys, right? And so then when you go looking at the playoffs, and like you said, the Jaden Williams guy, he giving them good minutes, and Mike saying he killed it in college, and I never even heard of him. But
that 3-year player development, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That's where that thing changes at. It's them 3 years of being in college or being in the NBA. It's showing like the name that we're seeing. Even the one McDaniels guy, I hadn't heard of him ever before from Minnesota.
Yeah.
And he's like 6'9" wing, right?
6'9". Then they got them guys can. And then you look at them, they can them guys can play. Like even the guy that come off the bench for Indiana, I didn't know. Did y'all know Devin Walker coached for OKC?
Nah.
That's breaking news. Never knew that. Shout out to Devin Walker, Warner Haven.
Oh yeah, I knew that. Yeah, through Star, he's like a player development or some recruiting or something like that.
Okay, like this now this just posted it in the chat in the group chat.
He been there for about I want to say Rashad said he been there about 3 or 4 years since COVID.
Okay, I didn't know that. We would have posted that. I didn't know he was out there. So congrats. So somebody from Polk County gonna win the championship. Inside, that's a good deal. The Matherin kid that I guess his last 2 games in that series, I think he had like 28 one game 4 or game 5, whatever, and then game 6 he had like 18, and he played with a lot of confidence. I never even heard of him, but so those sometimes we be scratching our head on draft night, but them research departments clearly, and them player development people, they definitely do a great job of finding that talent because you don't know where they come from. Siakam started out in the G League. He went to the G League and worked his way to the G League, got him a championship in Toronto, and now he got a shot to win another one. So, and then I saw where Halliburton coming out of high school. Then they say he didn't have no offers. He have a lot of schools interested in him. He was not either offers or star or something like that. He wasn't like no McDonald's All-American. And you look at him now, like you say, he done been to the Olympics and All-Star, and he got a chance to win a championship. So I guess some people.
Yeah, he was a top 15 pick, right?
I think he went high in the draft.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like I saw something.
He went high in the draft to Sacramento.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But he was an unknown kid. Like he didn't.
Unknown kid coming out of high school, right? I saw something.
He got traded too, bro. Like he was a 3-year development guy. So that obviously that system works of waiting on those guys to get 3 years in, man. Because the names we're hearing about, they're not superstars.
Yeah. So then you get them guys for low money and you develop them, and so then you look up and OKC got a 9-man bench. Indiana got a 9-man bench, and they ain't spent no money. You don't have no one, but they come in and they producing. Like the McConnell kid for Indiana, that he come in and he get good minutes every time he come in the game, and it's something to be said about that model, which is strangely how the model used to be right before the super team. That's how teams built their squad. So it's like you everything kind of goes in rotation. So like the teams, not super teams, seem like this is that's going to be the new trend.
Yeah. What I don't see is a lot of foreign players in the first round in this draft. Like we used to see.
What you think that's all about? Because normally, are we having so many? We having more misses from them foreign players. They done lost their kind of that potential or that glitz. Them kind of fell off.
I think the better ones are younger, and they're not.
Definitely fell off.
Because I've seen some posts recently of some really, really young kids. They like 16, 17 years old that'll be here soon. That's going to be really, really good.
Yeah, I seen one too, like a 6'11" kid. That's really, really good.
Yeah, I seen a 6'11" kid. I seen one kid about 7'4", 7'5", say he's supposed to be the next Wemby.
Yeah, I saw one kid, a young kid, dunking everything. It might be
Yeah,
the same one we talking about.
Yeah, I
yeah.
think it is.
Yeah, I saw him like, man, he a daggone gorilla. Like,
So I think those kids are just young. It's just none of this, for the last couple of years. But I think they'll pick back up.
okay. All right, so you like OKC, PG. Who you like, Coach?
Like OKC too in
Okay.
6 though.
That's it. So neither one of y'all think it's going to go. Neither one of y'all think it's going to go 7 games.
No,
Hell no.
no.
I be wanting to go 7 games just for the sake of having something to watch. Because after the NBA, now you got this drought, right? You got this drought. If you just a football, basketball person, now if you like baseball, then you about to be good. But
I mean, I keep up with like who's winning and whatever, but I can't sit there and watch no baseball game.
yeah, I've never been a baseball guy to the playoffs. Cause they 180 something game, 160 something game. That's why I could never get into fantasy baseball. It's too much, too much going on.
It's got better. It got better now that they let them. They let the leagues play against each other. You remember at one point, out of 160 games, you were playing the same teams over and over. Now you get to play like the Dodgers and the Yankees get to play.
Mm-hmm. And then they sped it up too, where it's not a shot clock, but it's like a pitch clock, where they're not taking their time.
Okay. So it's improved. I know you're a baseball guy, PG, so I know you look at it with a different lens.
Yeah.
They'll say give him 2 games to me. He and catch him if you're gonna give him 2 games. You can't see the comments. So
no, I saw it. That's why I even commented.
Oh, okay, my bad. I didn't know you were gonna say it. All right,
I'm logged in.
Okay. All right, so guys, once again, Summer League starts officially tomorrow night at the All-State PG alma mater, Florida Southern, 4 courts of games. Y'all, please behave over there. Please make sure you behave, clean up behind yourself. Don't be doing no foolishness in the bathroom so we can continue to use it. The coach really is on board with the league. So we want to continue to give the kids a college experience. So behave, parents too, grown-ups, kids behave, everybody. And then we move over to Arbondale Rec, Arbondale High and Lake Region. Y'all get them the same courtesy because they at City Rec. Damon Damone run the rec now. Coach Robinson at high school, Coach Shake at Lake Region. Appreciate Coach E and Coach Shea opening up y'all gyms for the kids to be able to play. And then next Saturday, you got two good days of basketball at Santa Fe, and with a lot of local teams, with 3 or 4 of them that'll be in action. So summer is here, and kids are playing. So y'all make sure y'all get out and support them. Any last words, PG, Coach, before we jump off?
OKC and 5.
Just know that we're working on some things here at Polk. Remember, we got the tournament going. We need teams to sign up like ASAP. You know what I'm saying? So it's people that are at us outside the county that wants to play. And right now we're trying to hold them off. But please sign up for the tournament. Remember, that's the last weekend in July. We will be having our first coaches clinic. That'll be on September 6th. And after that, we will have a high school shootout. After that, we have the team secured for that. We're still working on the coaches for presenters. It's going to be a great day of basketball, especially from the teams that we have committed, which is Santa Fe, Victory, and Arbondale from the county. And outside the county, we got the Villages coming in, Gibbs, and Leesburg. You know what I'm saying? 5 of the 16 were in the Final Four last year. So we're really, really excited about that. But mark it on your calendar, September 6th. Location to be determined.
So we just continue to try to bring, high quality stuff to you all. Support Polk County basketball, because that's what we are about at all times. And to Mr. Sears, thank you for the reminder. Once again, congratulations to the class of 2025. You guys finished the drill. To all the young men and all the young ladies who walked across the stage and earned your diplomas, great job. We salute you here at Polk Hoops, and we wish you well on all your future endeavors, whether you're going to college, whether you're going to trade school, going to the military, whether you're going into the workforce, whatever you're doing, just be productive. And we're proud of each and every one of you. And to 2026 through 29, y'all are on deck starting tomorrow night. So we'll post the schedule in the morning for the games at Florida Southern. Y'all make sure y'all get out and support the kids. Admission is free. The way we keep it free is y'all behave, take care of the people's facility, and they'll continue to allow us to use it, all right? Till next time, we appreciate y'all rocking with us. Polk Hoops, we out. Y'all have a good one, man. Thank y'all for your support.